Hi there, students. We're starting a new unit today with cylinder. Although it is a new unit, you're going to use all of the skills you learned during the circles unit. So here's some background information. Before you start today's lesson, make sure you have mastered circles. Everything with circles you should have a good knowledge of now. I have videos on those if you have to go back and view them. So you will need to be able to convert between diameter and radius. Remember, radius is halfway across the circle through the center point. Diameter is all the way across. To make a radius a diameter, you multiply by 2. To make a diameter a radius, you divide by 2. How to find the area of a circle? So vital with volume of a cylinder. To find the area of a circle, pi times radius squared. And of course, you'll have to be able to square a number, multiplying a number by itself. So for example, 5 squared is 25. 13 squared is 169, etc. And of course, how to multiply with decimals. So here is the volume of a cylinder. It is pi times radius squared. You might remember that from circles. That's how you find the area of a circle. And if you notice, a cylinder has 2 circles, one on the top, one on the bottom. But you also then have to multiply it by the height of the cylinder. So volume of a cylinder, pi times radius squared times height, or area of circle times height, whichever you prefer to remember. If you're a little more advanced, area of circle times height might be an easier way to remember it. So let's do a real world example. When I was thinking of cylinders, I thought of the soda can. And here's a little one with a Janesville tie-in for you. In the mid-1960s, Dr. Pepper came out with a sugar-free version that lasted until 1987. The sugar-free version went with a light blue can, while of course the regular Dr. Pepper does not use blue. Although, and this is so interesting, you can still see advertising for sugar-free Dr. Pepper on the Janesville softball field, on the scoreboard by Lake Elysian. So if you go, obviously past the school, past the golf course, past the deer park, if you go to those fields, you go down the hill, you're going to see a scoreboard, and it's going to be advertised with sugar-free Dr. Pepper. So it's kind of funny, it's 2020, and they're advertising a soda that has not been around since 1987. Anywho, back to the can. The soda can is a great example of a cylinder. If the height of the can is 4.5 inches, and the diameter of the can is 2.5 inches, what is the volume of the can? And this is very important because you might be wondering, well, who cares about volume of a cylinder? I certainly don't. Well, you might never need this directly, but volume, of course, is what is within it. So when you know the volume of a can, of a soda can, you know how much soda could be fit inside it. So let's solve this. Let's solve for the volume of this cylinder. So step 1, you need to convert to radius if needed. Sometimes they're going to give you a diameter, sometimes they're going to give you a radius. Now this time they gave us a diameter of 2.5 inches. So how do you make a diameter or radius again? You divide by 2. 2.5 divided by 2 is 1 1/4, or 1.25. I'm going to use 1.25 inches as my radius. Step 2, square the radius. How do you square a number? You multiply it by itself. So 1.25 times 1.25 is about 1.56. Next, you multiply by pi. And if you multiply by pi, you get 1.56 times 3.14, and that is 4.9. So that's the area of the circle on top. Now we need to multiply by the height of the cylinder. So we're going to do 4.9 times 4.5, or 4.5, and we get 22 5/100, or 22.05 inches cubed. And that would be the volume of the cylinder. All right, it's your turn. Sorry about that. So we're going to pause the tape, and I want you to find the volume of this cylinder. So pause it. Let's see how you do. Try it on your own. All right, let's see how you did. So once again, the formula is pi times radius squared times height, aka circle of area of circle times height. So let's go through it. The radius was 3. We square it. 3 by 3 is 9. So we need to multiply 9 times pi times height of cylinder. And that's what we did. And you should get about 113.04 centimeters cubed. So once again, how do you find the volume of a cylinder? Radius squared times pi times height of cylinder. If you have any questions, contact me, students. I'd love to help.